Game is New Zealand up against New South Wales, both teams out to avenge first round losses, and here's how they'll line up. For New Zealand, 17-year-old Paul Fincham, current average 196, 36-year-old Diane Wichellow, current average 185, and 23-year-old Murray Johnston with a current average of 190. For New South Wales, 19-year-old Billy Gardner, who has bowled a high game of 307 times, 30-year-old Sue Castle, voted 1990 amateur female bowler in the world, and 21-year-old Robert Thompson, current average 210. Joining me once again in commentary is Terry Wenban. Let's pick up the action. Well, New Zealand a chance to atone. The last time we saw them, they were given a bit of hurry up by WA. This is Paul Fincham.
Well, Alan, that was a great start. It was a great shot. He's just amazed there, a cold 4-9. You'll see here in the replay, it was a good shot straight in the pocket. He thought it looked good, and he's just been a little ripped off. He just laughs and says, well, you know, maybe this isn't my day. But again, early days in the game, he's got to get out there, try and make the spare.
No.
Well, covers one, though. That's okay. If you're going to open a frame, make it the first one.
Bill Gardner.
Well, he's changed balls. The one he finished bowling against Victoria.
Come on.
He likes it. He knew.
Well, this is the thing with Billy. He's such a powerful player. He's gone to the harder ball. You see, he's right over the left-hand side of the lane, sends it right out, brings it right back, and 10 in the pit. That's exactly what he wants.
And the captain steers the ship.
That's going to pump him. Let's see if Diane Wichellow here. Again, they want to make up for that 168 game they bowled in the first match, so let's see how she goes.
Yes! Well, against Western Australia, WA sort of blew them out of the water, didn't they, from the first frame, and they never really got back into it, even though they fought back well in the latter frame. So they just want to stay with the Blues.
I think so. You know, they started out with 3 open frames and ended up with a 168 game, so it was a good comeback. And I think here they were ripped off the first frame with that 4-9 and then got a strike, so they're going well.
Sue Castle. She likes it.
Hey, come on.
She can't believe that.
You called it. It's the ball's come up a little light. I didn't think she got through the ball as well. Ball came back a bit flat. Probably rolled out again. These new balls that they're using, they're a new. They call them a tackified urethane because they're very tacky to touch, and they're very sticky, and they're not like the old urethane balls. And they really do react when they get onto a dry lane. But Sue here's got to try and spare it, put them straight between the middle. Well, at the moment, as I said, if you're going to open a frame, you open the first. New Zealand with an open, then a strike. Let's see, Sue, what she wanted to do was just get it between the middle. The ball won't fit through, and it'll pick up both. But they've opened the second. They're 28 in the second. If New Zealand can get a strike here, they can take an early lead. Let's see if Murray can get a strike.
Oof. Bit of a frown there.
Well, it's not... that's the cranker's dilemma. There's the washout, the 210.
The cranker's dilemma.
That just certainly is. This is the spare that they leave with great regularity, because if they send it out a little bit too far and it doesn't come back, the ball comes back at such an angle that it cuts in behind the head pin and leaves the 10. He's got to try and get it across, and he gave that a good show. He'll try and get the 2 pin across, but all the guys that turn the ball up, that's the spare that really gives them the most trouble.
Robert Thompson, the 21-year-old bank clerk.
Yeah, Robert's had a great 92. Only been bowling for 6 years.
Yes, they rode it with him.
It's a great shot here from Robert. Sends it in, sends it out, comes back. 10 in the pit. Okay, as it stands now, the third frame, New Zealand 35. New South Wales with a strike and a spare. They'd like 7-pin lead early in the game.
And welcome back. New Zealand versus New South Wales.
Well, Paul was ripped off at his first shot. Let's see if he can atone for it with a good strike. He rushed that one a little bit. Got to go back and make the spares as it stands now. They've opened 2 out of the first 3 frames. They need to start closing some frames to try and put some pressure on. A good shot there from Paul. He gets right through the ball. That's exactly what you're supposed to do, is get your hand right through the ball. Good follow through. Yes.
Now a bit of big timber from young Billy Gardner here, 19 years of age. Gives it plenty.
That's an understatement.
A bit too wide.
Very much so. Again, this is the way that these players all like to play the game. They lift the ball and throw it right. You see there, he just throws it, just goes too far wide, just doesn't come back. A little bit lucky not to leave the 10-pin with it. But also one thing that goes against these guys that play the game like this way, you'll notice that Robert and Billy both have the forearm supports.
Good finish. How often do you get injuries in the game, in the elbow and in the forearm area?
Well, these guys that really turn the ball up a lot, they all wear supports. They get sore shoulders. We had a guy out in Australia from Germany threw a big shot, and he had to have his shoulder massaged every day. It really does do a lot of damage. There's one guy in the United States bowls without a thumb in the ball, and he had to take 6 months off because of a shoulder injury. That was a good shot there from Diane, a little bit unlucky. Still at this stage, they're catching up pins at this stage because by way of their high counts. Pretty high. She was hopeful that Pin was going to knock it over, as with Tom Curry's shot, but good shot at the line, solid at the line, right through the ball. All the New Zealanders have good basics, which obviously they've had good coaching.
And Di likes it. Well, it was in their first round match, New Zealand against Western Australia. They didn't start with a great rush, and they sort of just been struggling that either to get the pace of the lane, or they just seem to be struggling just a bit, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They seem to be a little tentative, I think, just being here for the first time, playing against the Australians. Probably feel they're the underdog themselves, and I think they should get out of that attitude.
Yes, sir.
Well, again, that's what she said. That's what she thought the last one was going to come back and just didn't come back. There's a great shot. You'll see a great behind shot here from Sue.
It was, well, almost a similar ball to the last time, but how much luck's involved?
Well, I guess with any sport, there's always an amount of luck. Depends. You can do everything right in this game and not get the result, and you can do a lot of things wrong and still get a result. So there is probably 10% luck, they say.
Murray Johnston just not finding the right range at the moment. What's going through his mind? He hasn't started all that well, and I suppose he just can't seem to get it in the slot, can he?
No, he had a few practice shots before he started, and he looked very, very good. But he's just not trusting it. Again, bowling is a game where a lot of its confidence is with any sport. You have to go at it. It's a good spare for him, though. You know, I think when you play golf, if you don't get right through the shot in golf, the ball can just go anywhere. You have to finish the shot off and play aggressively. Got to be consistent with your shot also. If you're tentative with one and then get aggressive with another, his ball tends to go everywhere on you. That's where it comes back to basics.
He likes that. Just what New South Wales needed to kick halfway through, and they have.
They certainly do. Alan, it was a great shot. He got it right out of the lane. Comes screaming back with that new urethane ball that they're using. But right now, the bottom of the 6th frame, New South Wales are up 15 pins.
Frames remaining in this match between New South Wales and New Zealand, and New South Wales in front by 15. Paul Fincham.
You know, Alan, this is such a frustrating game. In practice, both Paul and Murray looked really good. They were throwing a lot of strikes. And as soon as you turn the lights on, the tension comes in. You tend to look up. You tend to try and get a result before you've actually bowled the ball. And that's the problem. The ball tends to go high a lot. Just got to get out there and make the spare.
Is it a matter of a lot of times in this game that you've got to cut your losses, like take the spare, wait for the next frame, wait for your opportunities to come?
Definitely is. That's another area where this is similar to golf. You've definitely some days got to just go out and play percentages, put the ball in the middle of the green and that sort of thing. And here you've got to go out and just play it. But young Billy never does. Billy and Robert are the type of players that go out, they go for everything they can get all the time, and when the shot works, it's terrific, and when it doesn't work, it can be very horrible. They can leave weird leaves.
Can your playing partners pick up on what you're doing wrong and give advice to bowlers, or do they just sort of sit there and just let them work it out for themselves?
Well, in this competition, because they're the three of them, I'd be telling them what they're doing wrong, because they can definitely know what they're doing wrong. You can see it. It's quite evident.
Billy Gardner picks up the spare.
Well, by way of their double, they've increased their lead to 25. But so at this stage, New Zealand's still not out of the match. They can still strike out and still make a very respectable score. Still got a possible 202 if they can strike out.
Bit of pressure on Diane here. Yes. I'll take that.
You see here in the replay, the ball crosses to the Brooklyn side, goes a little bit far, takes it. That's what they need, though, again. They need that little bit of luck to get them going. They need something to get them started. But Sue with a strike up on the last shot. Thought she had one the first shot. Let's see if she can make a good shot here and get another one.
She's riding it. Yes. That's the reply.
All right, come on, we're back in now.
See a shot here of Sue. Throws the ball out, brings it back, 10 in the pit. That's a great shot. That's exactly what she wanted to do. That's exactly what Murray wanted. That's what he was doing in practice, and this is what they need now. They've got a strike in the 8th, strike in the 9th. They've got a double. They've just caught up 10 pins.
Well, it's almost a replay of their match against Western Australia.
Well, it certainly is. You know, like early in the match, they've been a little bit tentative. Again, I really believe that it's a case of the power of positive here, because they believe they're a little bit the underdogs. They're playing these three guys, all good, experienced players over here, but anybody can win one-game matches.
Get up.
Well, at this stage, the thing's really hotting up. That was a great shot there by Robert.
Who bowled the ball, Robert or Sue?
I don't know, but I think Sue's right on his back at the moment. Like, it's a team thing, and they really need to get it up there. As it stands now, bottom of the 9th, you've got New South Wales with a double, New Zealand with a double. New South Wales are still 25 pins in front.
The winning team of the Coca-Cola 10-pin Classic will receive a cheque for $15,000. Plus, each team member receives accommodation and entry into the $1 Million High Roller Tournament, staying at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, flying Qantas, courtesy of the Australian 10-pin Bowling Congress.
And we're back with the final frame, with New South Wales in the driver's seat against New Zealand.
Well, Paul, again, thrown a couple of good shots, had a couple of bad breaks. Let's see if he can end it with a good one. Get 3 in a row for New Zealand. Oh, no. No, wayward shot, but he's got to make the spare. He's got to start remembering the end result is to make the seedings. You'll see, you know, the ball runs away and he's left himself with a tricky spare here with a 3-9. Of course, the trick being to get the back pin. He's got to send it out, let the ball come back into the 3 and pick up the back pin. Good spare. That's exactly how you want to do it.
Thanks, Coach.
Now, with the sleeper pins, it's always extremely difficult to get the back pin out. You've got to hook the ball back into it. As with a single pin, you can just throw the ball anyway, but you'll see that the ball actually hits both pins. As it stands now, if Paul can get a strike here, they'll finish the 180 game. And he does.
And that brings a smile to his face.
Well, as it stands now, New South Wales can punch out. They can throw a 227 game, running at a 2-0 pace if he spares. But again, pinfall is all important for the final seedings. They need as many pins now as they can get.
How is that?
How is it? What?
Well, as I said before, in the previous show with New South Wales, Sue is the most experienced player out there, and she's really geeing up these young guys. She's getting on their back, she's making sure they make good shots and keep thinking about it. She's really, I think, the captain of the team as far as it goes, and great shot there by Billy. Power ball. He wants one more here to throw a 220 game. Unfortunately against Victoria, and let's see if he can get it.
All right, good shot. Now make it fair. Come on.
All right, come on,
Great
spare it
shot,
up.
great shot.
Nice following.
There's Sue. She's really trying to keep them alive. Trying to get them pumped up. Spare here gives them 216. Unfortunate against Victoria. But that'll do excellent. That'll really do their cause well for their position in the seedings tournament.
Well, they bowled 200 against the Victoria New South Wales and they went down. As Billy Gardner picks up the spare. And New South Wales defeats New Zealand by 36. Well, there was a good win to New South Wales. They desperately needed that, and of course with the 20 bonus pins, it certainly helps them come the end of the tournament with their seedings. Well, the next match coming up is between Western Australia and South Australia. Why don't you join us for that on Nine's Wide World of Sports.